Hello there and welcome to Be Water. It's Lara Burrell here, and today I'm interviewing Jenny Trober from Boundless Betty. She's the founder of Boundless Betty, and she actually quit her full-time job to go travelling and work on Boundless Betty. So she's going to be telling us all about her story, her difficulties, how she got over them. So yeah, watch it, enjoy it, and tell me what you think. Bye.
Hello.
Hello. I'm Alara. Nice to meet you.
Me too. Are you in Turkey or England?
I'm in England at the moment, but I was brought up in Turkey, so my Skype was set up in Turkey, so it comes up as Turkey, but I am in England most of the time. Half Turkish though.
I was reading a bit of your blog yesterday, and I couldn't figure out whether you were like in Turkey for the holidays or not.
Oh no, yeah. I lived there until I was like 16, so quite a long time. So I moved over to do my A-levels and everything. So got quite a lot of Turkish heritage in me, but I'm becoming more English by the day.
So is your family over here as well, or is it just you that came over?
No, my family's actually still in Turkey. So when I came over when I was 16, I stayed with a host family. So I go back to Turkey to visit them. My dad actually is cycling around Asia, so technically he's not in Turkey either at the moment. He's on this big trip cycling around Asia. But yeah, they live in Turkey still, so it's only me.
That's pretty
Yeah, it's really good.
That's pretty cool.
Cool. Okay, so I have Jenny Trover here, and Jenny, could you please just tell me about where your home base is, or if you have one, and also what your brand is about. So just introduce your brand to us, please.
Okay, so if I start with the home base, I guess first. So I'm English, but I'm currently based in Hamburg, Germany. And then because the platform is just starting up, I'm able to be a little bit more flexible. So we're traveling around at the same time as setting up the project. And the project that we're launching right now is called Boundless Betty. It's an online booking platform aimed specifically for women. The idea was to be able to build a platform where it can be sort of a one-stop shop where you can see loads of different outdoor adventure sports, sort of holidays or trips. So you can see them all in one place, and then you can gather inspiration if you don't know what you want to do, or if you know what kind of holiday you want to go on, like surfing, skiing, windsurfing, anything. Then you can look and search specifically for that as well.
That sounds so cool.
Yeah, it's a booking platform trying to put together like small independent operators and then women from all around the world looking to do outdoor adventure sports.
So as part of your job, you research the different trips that are available, and then you put it onto your website saying, look, these are all available, I think you'd be interested in it. So, yeah, for any women that would be looking for that kind of thing. Wow. And
yeah.
So what made you decide that you wanted to specifically work with women? Because I've met a lot of people that have chosen women as their niche.
Yeah.
I just wondered, like, is there a kind of pattern why so many people want to work with women specifically?
I guess like the easiest answer is that I am a woman, so then I hopefully know my market base well. Also, it sort of, the whole project stemmed from sort of struggles that I faced or like situations I'd come across, and I thought that maybe by building this I could help solve them or find a solution. So like I'm in the city for 4 years, and you obviously like you're based there and you have the cash to spend on a holiday, but you don't have the time or the resources to spend to research and look for it if you don't know what you want to do. And you might not also have the friends that want to go and do the same thing as you. So like I really like off-piste skiing, but all of my friends in the city didn't like off-piste skiing. They just wanted to go on a boozy ski trip, which I didn't want to do. And then if I did want to do that with them, I had to organize it, which was a nightmare. So I figured it would be cool if there was a place where you could just go online. You knew that there were other, like the trips don't have to be specifically for girls, but at least if you know that there's going to be other girls going, you might not be quite so intimidated at booking and going by yourself. You're not going to have to sit at breakfast and read the paper on your own and feel nervous about being observed. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. And that's so considerate, like, because I suppose because you've been through the same struggles, you know that people, when they go on holiday, they don't want to have that awkward moment. So it's nice that you've kind of, like, taken that into consideration. And, you know, it can, yeah, I've looked at your website and it can definitely be felt that it's kind of meant to be, like, a place where you're embraced and you feel comfortable with meeting new people. So that's really nice.
I sort of want the website to be able to build into a community. So at the moment, it's still in the development phase, but eventually it will be how I envisage it being is that you're able to communicate. So if there's a trip that you want to go on, you can also you can write to other people on the website and say, okay, I'm interested in this. Does anyone else want to come? And then you can have sort of like a little bit like online dating, but just to meet like travel buddies or people that share the same interests as you and things.
Yeah, yeah. So, and how far have you got with it? Like, how long has it been since you've set it up?
We're still very much in the early phases, so it's only been live for about 2.5 months. So
nice.
The building process is a lot longer than I had anticipated.
It does.
Which I guess that is what happens with every startup. Like, you think, oh, I'm going to build a website, it's going to be so easy, and then it's not that easy.
Yeah. Yeah, like building the website, marketing, everything. I would say. What difficulties have you come across? Like coming to the stage that you're at, like considering that you started from scratch. What were all the different stages of kind of obstacles you came across, and like how did you get over them?
Well, I think the best advice that I can give is to be flexible. So when the initial idea of this was born, it's changed so much from the starting point to where we got to in the end. So there was always this idea, but initially I thought it would be a blog, and then I was like, how do you monetize a blog, or how do you reach more people and actually make it possible for them to book things without just like reading about it and having to go off and do it themselves anyway. So then I wanted to combine the blog and the ability to book. And then I had initially thought, oh, I can just build the website myself using like Squarespace or a platform like that makes it possible to self-build. And I sort of started that, and I was like, okay, this is not possible. Like, I'm not a computer person, like I'm not IT literate, so that I just was like, oh god, this is a nightmare. And then I sort of started like researching web developing companies that could do that, and I found a guy to mentor me, a family friend. He's had lots of businesses himself, so he's been mentoring me and recommended a good web developing company that he'd used and trusted, because when I was looking at them in the beginning, I was like, oh wow, everything seems crazy expensive, and I was like, am I just being ripped off? Or like, you have no way of knowing if you don't have someone to ask.
Yeah. So
yeah, then it was like overcoming the hurdle of the expense of actually building a platform. Also because no one will invest in the kind of business I'm doing until it's established and proven to be working. So you sort of have to self-finance that, which that's also tough. But yeah, that was, I guess they're the biggest struggles. And then also once you start speaking to the web developer, they kind of understand, but it's not until you get like into the intricacies of what you actually want to build and how you want the website to function that you realize some things aren't possible, or they are possible, but you need to spend hundreds of thousands of pounds on it.
Yeah.
So there's like different restrictions all the way up. It's just some you can overcome, and some you just have to like find a way of getting around it.
Yeah. Yeah, so like some you're like, okay, well maybe it might be worth spending thousands of pounds on this because it will bring in more income in the end. But some like maybe you'll like find another way of doing it that doesn't cost that much.
Yeah, or you just put something onto phase 2 and hope that you can make like start the project working not 100% perfect with the aim to put more money into it when some's coming in, and then like fine tune everything as you go along.
Yeah, definitely.
The problem now is actually getting an income from it, because then you have the driving traffic to it, which is a whole different challenge, and that I'm finding quite difficult. So
Yeah, advertising
that's
and
at the moment.
yeah. And what do you use mainly for advertising?
I've been using sort of a combination of like social media channels to try and do it as sort of economically as possible.
Yeah.
I think something that was from speaking to a couple of other people that have had like similar startup experiences, they have said that it's quite important to build a following before you build the website.
Mm.
So you actually have people to like, I don't know, tell about, because if no one's following you to start with, then you can scream and shout about it, but no one's interested.
Yeah.
So I built up like Instagram before, whilst the ideas were all forming. I concentrated on trying to get a good following on Instagram and got like 6,000 followers on that. So at least there was like a base. So that helped. But it's still not like I'm still not getting nearly enough visitors on the website yet, and that's the challenge. The challenge to try and overcome now.
Yeah, get your name out. What about yourself do you think has been like a really important factor in making this work? So getting over the challenges and getting up a website which is ready for monetizing.
I'm always really bad at this like self-appreciation thing. I don't know. I think I'm probably like, I'm quite determined. So once I've got an idea in my head, then I'll keep plugging at it and trying to make it work. And I don't like giving up on something.
Yeah,
so
definitely. Like perseverance, I think. Giving up is like the worst thing you could do, because even if you do have a good idea, at the first sign of defeat, if you give up, then you're not even giving it a chance. So I think being stubborn is a good way to start.
I think as well, because it's like your baby. You had this idea and then you've got it so far, you're like, oh, I can't stop now, because it's like we're almost there. So you just sort of have to keep plugging away at that, and I think that I will get there. It's just time and effort and
definitely
things.
And believing in it as well, I think. Like just believing it that it will work, because then you're kind of like conditioning yourself to making sure that you'll do everything in your hands to be able to make sure that it does work. Oh wait,
I think it also makes a massive difference if it's a project that you're passionate about. So if it's something you can really get behind and tell people about and get excited about it, and other people can catch on to your enthusiasm, then
definitely
they will love what you're doing as well, and it should work.
Yeah, like when other people see the passion that you're putting into it, that's something that's priceless, and people want to pay money for stuff like that, because not all companies out there are driven by purely passion and enthusiasm. Sometimes it's just like, I'm just going to do this to get a lot of money or impress my parents, or I'll be a lawyer because it's a good social status. So I think something that is driven purely like with a personal backstory to it, and something that you've put your all into, people can feel that when they're on the other side of it.
Yeah. I think the most frustrating part at the moment is I'm looking at all these awesome trips and I'm like, I so want to go on all of them, and I have my computer.
Yeah. Do you have a way where you kind of do inspire yourself and get energized a bit to be able to get the driving force to do like all your website work and all the computer work that you would need to do that might not be so energizing? I'm
really lucky in that my husband and I do like all of our sports stuff together, which it was another sort of reason that I started this, because I felt that like not everybody has a partner or a friend that they can do all the stuff that they want to do, and I know that I'm really lucky to have that.
Yeah.
So I wanted everyone to be able to have a travel buddy or adventure buddy or someone that they can hang out with and do fun stuff. So yeah, he's always around, and we go and do sport and have adventures together, and so that keeps me inspired. He'll even come to yoga classes and stuff with me, which is great.
That's lovely. Yeah. Having someone, having a partner that just enjoys spending time with you. So that when you're like, let's do this, and they're like, yeah, let's join it. So it's such a great feeling, and not everybody does have it. So I think it's great that you do cater for that. I think it's really considerate. And also with the Entrepreneurs page, Did you end up on there because you brought one of their programs?
No, it was a friend, I met, there's a really cool women's conference called Women in Important Action Sport.
Uh-huh.
And that was really invaluable. I went there last year, and I think it was November, and I met loads of different women working in the action sport industry. And one of the girls is she's got a marketing sort of company, and she recommended this and invited me to join the group. So that was how I found out about it.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I bought one of their like online programs. It's basically like it talks you through the process of each step of building a business. So kind of branding, making a logo, making a website, how to get followers, how to kind of advertise on Facebook, how to use Facebook effectively, blah blah blah. And it's like loads of really useful stuff, and they keep on making content every month. So I was wondering if you had any of that, because you might find that helpful if you're looking for ways to kind of reach out to people more.
I was looking at one of them the other day, and then I was like, oh, at the moment I've got so much I'm doing, and then I keep sort of reading different things and I'm not implementing it, so I'm trying to prioritize certain things in a time frame. So I think it's definitely something I'll look at, but I just need to make that time slot.
Yeah, rather than just buying it all at once and then being like, I don't have any time to do all this.
Otherwise it can just be so overwhelming. Like that's I think one of the hardest things with this has been like, you constantly have something to do. So it's like managing that feeling of guilt when you're not, like,
when you're
if you take a Friday afternoon off, you're like, oh, even though I got up at 6 or something, I feel like, oh no, I should be working on that. I've got so much to do, but it's like finding that balance where you don't overstress yourself, because then you're not productive either.
Yeah.
But doing enough to make yourself feel comfortable with what you have done, and still moving forward. So yeah, that's an interesting process.
Yeah, definitely. Like not becoming a workaholic, but also doing enough work so you can get results.
Yeah, because my last job was very much I had to be available 24 hours a day, so I was used to be having to work if someone called me, but it was always like a very specific job, so you knew exactly what you had to get done.
Yeah.
Whereas this always there and it's never done. And you're like, oh my god, like, how do I manage that?
How did you get into doing this? From doing kind of a 24-hour job to being an entrepreneur?
I think so. It was we decided to quit our jobs in 2015. So unfortunately, my mum got really sick and died 2 weeks before our wedding in 2014. And so that was like a massive life-changing sort of thing. And she was only 60 when she died, and I sort of had this realization. I was like, shit, I could just sit at my desk and work until I'm 60 in the hope that when I retire I can have loads of fun.
Yeah.
And then I was like, well, life's too short for that, and maybe you die at 60, or so it came very apparent that life is short, and it sounds so cheesy, like you should make the most of it.
Definitely.
Blah blah blah.
No, not at all.
But then so we decided to go traveling, and I sort of realized from the beginning that I didn't want to go back to being stuck in an office and working on someone else's time, because I loved my job, and I was relatively good at it and felt happy in my job, and that was great. But I just got frustrated with having to go to the office when you know you didn't have that much to do, and you sit there pretending to be busy, and in fact I'm just Facebook stalking, and that's not beneficial to anybody. Yeah. I was like, I could be doing my laundry, or going for a run, or like having an adventure or something, and in between the jobs that I had to do at work. So that frustrated me. I was like, it's so much wasted time, and it's not worth it. So when we started traveling, I started thinking about different ideas and how to, like, what I might want to do and how to do it. And then we ended up, part of the last bit of our trip, we were skiing in France, in this little tiny village which is all off-piste, and we've been there for a few times before. And there's never any women, really. So when we went, in the beginning, I was always we went in guided groups. Like when we went there to live there, then it wasn't in guided groups. We ski with lots of different people. But always in the groups, I was put in the group with the old men rather because there were no women. And my son was in like the group with the cool guys. And I was like, I want to be with the cool girls, but there aren't any. So I was like, okay, we just need to get more women to do this because so many people would love it. It's awesome. So yeah, then I was like, okay, that's how the idea of trying to get more women involved in sport came in. And I was seeing more camps, like ski camps and things like that, being started to introduce women to the sport and build their confidence. And I was like, okay, how do I combine that how do I make that into something? So that was kind of how it all started.
Yeah, and it's like interesting because it's like when you look at it, you take a step back and just look at it overall. Like at the start, it was just an idea that you got on a holiday, and it's turned into something that's like actually physical that you can like hold with your hands. So I always find that really interesting that it's just like it just comes up in your mind and you're like, actually wait a minute, wouldn't this be cool? And you're like, I could do it. And yeah. As a final point, if people did want to find out more about you or your company or some of your trips, how can they contact you and where can they find out more about you?
So the best option is to go to the website. So that's www.boundlessbetty.com. But we're also on Facebook on the same day, and Instagram and Twitter. So that's it. Then all the normal channels is the best way to find out about what we're up to.
Cool. Well, have a lovely day.
You too, and I'll stay in touch.
Yeah, you too. Bye.
Okay.
Take care.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.